She called the cops on me for moving into my own lake cabin. But guess what? Now her entire HOA is banned from the lake, and it all started with one clipboard-waving Karen. It all started with a loud voice yelling, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" That was the first sentence Karen ever said to me. I had just arrived at my newly bought lake cabin, my dream place. The sun was shining, the water sparkled, and I was unloading boxes from my truck. I'd spent months saving for this peaceful getaway. Little did I know, my first day would turn into a showdown. Karen, who lived across the road, stormed out in flip-flops and a visor, holding a clipboard like it was a weapon. "This area is HOA property," she said. "You're trespassing." I calmly told her, "I just bought this place last week. Got the keys from the previous owner myself." But Karen wasn't having it. She crossed her arms. "That cabin doesn't belong to you. I've lived here 15 years and no one told me it was sold." I didn't argue. I just smiled and went back to unloading. 5 minutes later, the cops showed up. I couldn't believe it. Karen had called the police on me just for moving in. The officers walked over and politely asked for my ID and proof of ownership. I showed them the papers, the deed, everything. They nodded and apologized for the inconvenience. One of them even rolled his eyes and said, "We get calls from this neighborhood all the time." Karen stood behind them, arms still crossed, tapping her foot. When she realized I was actually the new owner, her face turned red. But instead of backing off, she doubled down. "She can't park here," she said, pointing to my truck. "It's against HOA rules." The officer looked confused. "Ma'am, this cabin is not part of the HOA." Karen went quiet for a second. Then she stormed off with a final, "This isn't over." And guess what? It wasn't. For the next few weeks, it felt like I was living in a sitcom. Karen filed noise complaints, even though I live alone and barely play music. She left passive-aggressive notes on my door like, "HOA doesn't allow campfires after sunset." Problem is, I'm not in her HOA. She even started spreading rumors to the other neighbors. One guy asked me if I was planning to build a boat dock and ruin the lake view. I had no such plans. But the final straw? Karen sent a formal letter, pretending to be from the HOA board, threatening to fine me for installing solar panels. Except she made one mistake, she used her personal Gmail address. So I did what any peaceful, law-abiding citizen would do.